Hey, welcome to Lee's Knowledge Sharing Wednesdays. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to Lee's Knowledge Sharing Wednesdays. This is Ulihle Matomane, and as you know, I did say that I'll be having different ladies who will be coming to tell us about their stories, about their journeys, concerning their careers, and just general life experiences. So today we have Anita Soto. Welcome. Before we start, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who's tuned in and everybody who's just been interacting. I've been receiving emails with people who are interested even in the mentorship program. I will be sharing information at the end of this video in terms of how to go about if you want to let a girl join in our program. Okay, so before anything, Anita, please tell us a bit about yourself, just so that we can get to know you before we get into the formal things.
Oh my word, okay. So hi everybody, as Leah said, it's Anita Soto. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, I really do appreciate this opportunity to interact with everybody. So a bit about myself. So first of all, I'm a mommy. Yes, I'm a mommy to a 4-year-old. And I am a daughter, the firstborn in my family. I'm also an auditor, and I'm just a lover of life. I enjoy spending time with family. I enjoy spending time, especially with a little boy, although he gives me gray hairs, but I absolutely love him. So yeah, I think that's just me in a nutshell, if you have to put it there, yeah.
Okay, and since you mentioned that you are a mother of a 4-year-old boy, how do you find juggling being a mom and being a career woman? How do you basically balance the two?
True, I must say it is quite a challenge, to be quite honest, because you try and be the best at everything. So you want to be the best at work, in your career, and achieve the best and be the best, but you also want to be the best mom. You want to be there for everything. So it is a bit of a challenge. However, due to my support structure, like I'm really blessed in that area. My mom plays a big role in that. So sometimes I have to work late at the office, and I have to Mom, please step in, please help. And mom has always been pulling through. So I think the support structure for me has been really what has helped me to be able to juggle both, should I say, characters.
So would you say it's important for people to have a good support system?
Yes.
So what happens if you don't?
So I think what I've learned is that as women, we put so much pressure on ourselves, like I said in the beginning, that you try and be the best at everything, that you don't reach out.
Yes.
So we've got this mentality that I have to perform, I have to be the best wife, I have to be the best mom, I have to be the best at work. And so we don't reach out, we don't speak out when we need the help. So if you don't have the support structure like I do in terms of having my mom around, it's okay to have a nanny. It really is okay to have a nanny who's going to come in and be responsible for your child. Yes, you'll still be there, you still be the best mom, you still make sure that you are present, but it's okay to get the help. And I think that's one aspect that as women we sometimes fail at, because we put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah, right. I think we need to take that we need to just have the help. It's okay to ask for the help as well, because I think people can have this thing of I'm okay, and you're supposed to be okay, I've got this. So it really is okay to ask for help. Okay, Anita, so let's just start, because as you know that this is also a thing which I initiated so that we can help anybody, girls. I just wanted to also clarify that it's not just for young girls who are still trying to figure themselves out, but you can find that there's an elder or anybody else who's trying to pursue something else, because you may, sometimes we end up doing things that we don't want, so you just want to try out other things as well, and it's also never too late to try out what you want or to follow your passion. So just so you can give us a bit of more information in terms of what you did mention that you're an auditor, but what did you do in terms of the subject that you did at school, and did you know when you were at school already, what do you want? At which point did you know what do you want to do? because I know I struggled with that.
No, I think I agree with you. I also struggled. Being at school, you're told that you're given basically a list of all the best, should I say, careers to follow. You gotta be a doctor, you gotta be an engineer, you gotta be. So like there's so many, and you think to yourself, but being a doctor, yes, I want to be a doctor. So initially when I was in school, I wanted to be a doctor, but that was primary school. But then when I got to to high school, I met a gentleman who was a family friend, and he was a CA. So I saw him driving these fancy cars. He lived in this big house, and I was like, now I want that
one
money.
day.
I want that money. So yeah, and I took typing. Worst mistake ever, guys. If you're still in in high school and you want to pick a subject, do not take typing. It was bad. Like I literally got 28%, and they had to. My teachers were like, "No, we have to try something else.
It's not working.
So it's not working." So yeah, thank God for them. So yeah, so I did the commerce subject, and then when I got to varsity, I was still of the mentality that I want to be a chartered accountant. Yes. And I did my first year, and I was like, yo!
First year in what?
First year in varsity, become accounting.
Become accounting.
Yes, so I registered for become accounting, and I got there first year. I was like, yo, like this is like hectic. It's not the same as high school. You know, in high school, it's like if you still got that support and you think you're fine,
Yes.
and then you get to varsity, it's like
You're all on your own.
yeah. Now you gotta really. Is this a passion? Do I really want to do this? So I think so. I only knew in my third year, because in my third year we were then introduced to auditing.
Okay.
We introduced to commercial law and auditing, and I was like, this is it. I think I like this one. So that's what I.
So that's how you got to go for auditing.
Yes.
So what I'm learning is that it won't necessarily you always know what you want. Sometimes things can change even in between.
Yes.
Because I think what the pressure is that as you said, families expect us to be doing these charts. Like you have to be a CA, you have to be a doctor. If you're not that, then you cannot be anything else. So if you say you could change your mind at third year, I think that's actually helps. So it's okay, you can still change your mind and you still do what you feel that you love.
Yes.
Okay, so in auditing, then it was that when you did auditing the third year.
Yes.
So then what happened after that?
So luckily for me, I could still continue and complete my BCom accounting degree, but just have auditing as well. And after graduating from my degree, I couldn't do my honors. I couldn't continue my honors because of life happened. Okay. And I'm not sure we'll get into that actually. So then after that, then I started. I worked.
Then you started. You had to go find a job.
Yes.
Okay. What would you say before we get into the life challenges?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say would be one challenge that you felt that was difficult as a student? Did you stay at home? Or were you on campus? Did you stay at Res? What is the one thing that you feel that was really, really difficult for you, or to adjust to the campus life or to the tertiary life as such?
I think so. I didn't live at home. I lived at one of these student accommodations, like a commune. Okay. It was actually a flat, one of these flats, but student accommodation, KSI. So I think the biggest challenge for me was that coming from a very Christian, like very, very strict Christian background, where it's like, it's you need to, there's a certain lifestyle that you're expected to live, and then you get to varsity and you are faced with like everything. Yes. There's dating, there's drinking, there's partying, there's sugar daddies, there's everything. You're exposed to everything. So I think the biggest challenge for me was making a decision. It had to be like a conscious decision, a personal decision to say, what am I going to do? What am I not going to do? And obviously with that, it means that you won't be the most popular person, obviously, because when you get to varsity, everybody's still excited. I'm away from home. Nobody can see me. I can do whatever I want. And then, so I think that for me was the biggest challenge, like finding my place to say that, okay, within this entire confusion or everything that's happening, where do I find myself and just center myself and say, okay, this is Anita, and Anita, this is who you are, and you continue with this regardless of everything else that's happening.
So what drove that? What drove you into finding a place? How did you, because I know you're saying it as a challenge.
Yes.
So how did you overcome the challenge? What made you now find that space, knowing who you are?
So for me, I would say that it's when I got to varsity, the friends that I got.
Okay.
So I didn't know anybody when I got there. My roommate, I think it was God's favor that just like linked me with the right people. So my roommate was also very Christian based, and then we decided that it'll be us. Obviously it grew, and we would still continue with, I know it's going to sound very like cheesy guys, but it really did happen. We started like a church group. Just us, not got nothing to do with varsity school. It was just us in the commune or in the
where you stay,
in the accommodation, And we were like, okay, so we're going to be honest about everything that we're facing. So we sort of started like a support group, if I could put it that way, where we would honestly and openly talk about the challenges that we were facing at school. Things like, dude, I just met this guy and I've got such a huge crush on him. I don't know what to do. Like, how do I act? Like, I don't think he finds me attractive. Like everything that you think
young people
that one has. So we decided that it's a good idea for us to just start that and just openly talk. We'll laugh at each other. But then you'll talk it out. Okay. So I think for me that really helped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's go back to the challenge that you faced that made you have to drop out. Well, I would say drop out, not really a drop, because you could finish your degree, which is a blessing as well, because others can't even do that. So what is it that happened for you to not be able to do your honors?
So when I was in grade 11, that's when I lost my dad to a car accident, and my mom was not she was like a stay-at-home mom. Okay. So my dad did everything.
Yes.
So now all of a sudden my dad is gone, and now my mom needs to now figure out what is she going to do. So grade 12 helped. At grade 12 I had the family friend, the one who was a CA, he was able to pay for my fees in grade 12. And then because obviously it's not obvious though, my dad didn't really have like a study plan. He had just started. I'm guessing that somebody had just introduced him to it. So he just started this whole thing of saving for your children's education and all of that, which is very important to do it. So the money was obviously not enough. So when I got to varsity, first year my mom had to like work, and the only job that she could get was to be a domestic lady. So she had to work, and first year she managed to put me through, and second year I had to get a bursary, third year bursary, but after I graduated, the bursary stopped. And so I couldn't afford to continue, and I've got brothers that that needed to go to school. So that meant that I had to now, because I've done my degree, now I had to step up and step up. So then I had to go look for a job and make sure that at least they go to school and they finish, and then only can I continue doing whatever I want to do.
Okay. Yeah. How did you deal with Daddy's loss? Because he left you at a very young age. I mean, grade 11, you're still also trying to find yourself in the feet as well, a teenager now growing into adulthood.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how close you and Daddy were, but how did you how did you deal with losing? Because I know that losing a very special person in your life is very difficult and it tends to affect you. And how do you think? Does it still affect you now? How have you dealt with the loss of Daddy, and how have you made sure that it doesn't really affect, what you do or how you go about life?
I think it was a very hard knock, like a very, very hard knock. Like my dad was my cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yes, he put a lot of pressure on me, to be honest. He was very, you must study, work, and do this, work. So he was very, very education orientated. He was excellence driven. So, but he was also my cheerleader. So when he passed away, it took a lot out of me. It really did take a lot out of me. And the honest truth is that I didn't deal at that moment, because as soon as he passed away, I automatically just jumped into first. You firstborn. You had a firstborn. Now you need to step up. So immediately from there, it was just like I can't cry. I cried, but it was like I can't just break down. I need to get up. I need to
my brother
needs me. My mom needs me.
Yes.
And like yes, family will be there, but when you're going through this like loss, you need your closest family as much as possible. So it was that I need to step up. I need to be responsible now. I need to make it happen. So even when I went to varsity, the thought process was, you're here, you're on a mission. You can't be faffing around. You need to make sure that you do this, you finish, because there's people waiting for you. So I never really got the time back then to actually really deal with the loss, because like so much, everything else was just happening around me, and I was, I think, not necessarily happening around me, but I was making things happen around me. Like it was a conscious decision that I took to say that I am gonna. Eventually it became subconscious, it became like something I can't control, but initially it was a conscious decision to say, I'm not gonna sit, I'm not gonna deal, I'm just going to continue with life and make sure that things happen. And eventually it became a thing of, okay, it's the pain comes, then I just shut it down. I think at some point I got to a point where I was telling my mom, I was like, I can't even remember what my dad looks like.
Sure.
Because of how detached I sort of did. I detached myself completely from it. So I only started dealing with my father's death like properly when, like, after I got married and things like didn't go well in my marriage. That's when I think I really honestly, like, I had to face it and be like, okay, Anita, this does not just come, it doesn't start here, like it goes way deeper.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was only at that point. So I still do go through moments where I do miss him, I do cry, but I think having gone through like the whole therapy thing, because I had to go for therapy, it has really helped in terms of how I deal with it.
Okay. All right.
Coming up next is episode 2. Please do tune in as we continue our conversation with Anita Soto.